1, 2, 3! Please welcome the director of The Force Awakens, also the co-writer and the producer, J.J. Abrams. Of The Force Awakens, and the president of Lucasfilm, the person who's creating a whole new series of films, Kathy Kennedy. He's tweeting. Be patient, everyone. You can tweet too. Hi. This is amazing. That's a nice reception. You're welcome. Thank you for waiting.
Waited all night long. Okay, well, we're going to try very hard not to put you to sleep.
And it went crazy.
Wait, I just have to say last night, I was so excited as we were walking through that I ran in before anybody got inside and I bought this t-shirt.
I don't know anyone who could send you a Star Wars team.
I know, but it's so much more important to pick things up here at Celebration because it isn't anywhere else, so I had to have it first.
Well, let's start talking about this movie. That's what everybody wants to hear. JJ, you're directing this film, you co-wrote it, you produced it, but like me, like a lot of people in this room, you grew up with Star Wars. It was part of your childhood, and so how important was it in shaping your life as a kid?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to all of you who are here. This is overwhelming and incredible. I'm sure, like many of you, the experience I had seeing Star Wars for the first time was mind-blowing. I was 11 years old when it came out, and 11 was a great age to have my mind blown. And I'll never forget that feeling of seeing a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away fade out, and those words hit the screen with that incredible music, and it was that moment on that just transported me. It was the first time a movie made me laugh that way and made me believe in another world that way, and it was really George Lucas's brilliance, not only creating these incredible characters and this amazing universe, but also that it had such heart, and the biggest thing for me is it had such hope, and that to me was incredibly powerful, even 11 years old.
Were you a collector? Did you have the toys? Did you ever dress up for Halloween?
It sounds like someone must have told you something. I did one Halloween one year dress up as a Jawa, but I don't want to tell you what year it was.
So Kathy, people have been waiting for this moment for a few years now, ever since Disney picked up, merged with Lucasfilm, and they announced that there would be a new series of films. Can you tell us about your transition from producer to the president of Lucasfilm, launching this whole new series of films?
Well, I have to say that when George asked me to have lunch with him, and it was almost 3 years to the day that I sat down with George in a small little restaurant in New York, and he said, I'm retiring and I'm thinking about moving on, and I'd like somebody to come in and carry on this legacy. And I thought he was going to ask me recommendations on who might do that. And I said, who are you thinking about? And he said, well, I was thinking about you. And needless to say, thank you. As any of you can imagine, it is an incredibly daunting task. And I've been unbelievably fortunate. Obviously, the background I had in working with Steven Spielberg for many years and working with George Lucas on all the Indiana Jones movies, I think it did prepare me, but I must say that when I turned to the guy on my right and said, will you help me do this? I can't do it alone. Thank God, although he didn't say yes right away.
What was your initial reaction when she said, join me and together we'll rule the galaxy?
No. But I said no, partly because it was an incredibly daunting thing, partly because my family and I had this plan, what we're going to be doing that next year, partly because it felt like I've been doing sequels and things in the past, and I just wanted to sort of break away from that. But when I sat down with you to have this conversation, and we actually were sitting there talking about what could come next and what it would be. I mean, you can imagine, it's a very different thing, very much like this moment. You can anticipate it and expect what it's like to come out and see a room full of fans, but to actually be here with you is a very different and wonderful experience. So this was an unexpected reaction because I really thought I would just say no, and I found myself having this conversation with you. It was impossible to say no.
No. You said yes.
Thank you, David.
So one of the things that's been noted about this film is Star Wars has always pushed the boundaries of visual effects, but you're kind of taking a retro approach this time around. You build a lot of passion.
That's an awesome reaction. I will say that when we started talking about actually what the story would be and how to make it happen, the thing that struck me. Oh yeah, there we are.
It's really fun flying.
I'm flying here.
Just driving to work.
Yeah, flying.
When we were working on pre-production of the movie, the thing that struck me, and it wouldn't go, get out of my head, is just how real you knew and felt Star Wars was when you first saw A New Hope, and that feeling of actually being in, whether they were shooting in Tunisia or on various physical, tangible sets, you couldn't deny it. And I knew, look, it's Star Wars, right? There are going to be an endless number of effects that will be done, CG and otherwise, of course, but we needed a standard. And we needed to set a standard that was real, that felt like, you knew the people were in those places. The way the light interacts with the set, you want it to be legitimate, you want it to be authentic. And so building as much as we possibly could was really the mandate. And I will tell you, the amazing thing is, as we're working now, of course, finishing up the edit of the film, even before ILM gets started doing their spectacular work, it's an amazing thing to actually be able to watch the movie and you can see what it is. You don't need to use your imagination because we actually had those sets there, and it was great for the actors too.
Giving Stormtrooper some direction. Now,
I just want to say, right now, everybody in this amazing creature shop that we worked with, that made every single thing you're looking at in the movie, are all gathered together right now in London, and they're watching it, live streaming right now.
Not just applause and cheering. Could everybody make their best Wookiee roar for those guys right now? I want to hear those. Thank you.
Close to to a Bruce Springsteen concert.
And there they are. That's it.
Then now, right?